taken legal action against activist Deji Adeyanju following a series of public accusations. Peter Obi's lawyers, in a notice, demanded a retraction and an apology from Adeyanju for what Obi's lawyers call defamatory publications. It states that Adeyanju has repeatedly published false and malicious statements designed to injure Obi's reputation, both in Nigeria and abroad, including an accusation that Obi invested state funds into a family-owned company during his tenure as governor. The legal notice specifically cites a social media post from August 21st, 2025, in which Adeyanju allegedly claimed that Peter Obi could only be president of the obedience on social media and that his supporters represent political extremists. Well, in a defiant response on Facebook, Adeyanju publicly dismissed Peter Obi's legal threat as laughable, expressing his eagerness to confront him in court while reiterating his previous claims. A lawyer, he continues with the defamatory statements on his social media account. We know that the legal battle intensifies a long-standing public dispute between the two parties, which began when Adeyanju had previously sued one of Peter Obi's aides for alleged defamation against his wife. I'll take some tweets before I come to you, Ion. This is from Pat, who wrote on X. When you shift from insults and criticisms to making categorical allegations about someone offering you a bribe, it goes beyond mere critique and becomes a serious accusation. Deji is not just any random social media user. He boasts about his 25 years of activism and is now a lawyer. He should recognize the difference between hypothetical and categorical statements when making the former, especially regarding an allegation of bribery. One must be prepared to substantiate the claim. Furthermore, Deji personally requested this. He publicly expressed his desire for it. As a lawyer, he has the skills to officially write to the anti-corruption agencies with a comprehensive petition if he was convinced that any actions taken by Obi in office constituted an act of corruption. Yet, he didn't do that. Instead, he wakes up every day throwing around all manner of categorical statements about acts of corruption. Another Twitter user wrote, "This case will really test the line between free speech and protecting someone's name. If Obi feels his image has been damaged, the court is the right place to sort it out." At the same time, activists and politicians both need to be careful with their words, like I said earlier. The truth will show in court. I hope justice will be upheld.
I think that last statement, that last sentence is
Yes.
the most important, one of the most important things
Yes.
made in terms of, I hope that justice will be held. And we've talked about the justice system in Nigeria. Sometimes it's said to favor a particular class to the other. But I want to hope and I believe, because we must uphold our institutions, that's the only recourse we have. Dr. Bati had mentioned earlier on that you cannot resort to self-help. You have to approach the court. So we hope that the courts will follow due process and really be the bastion of justice. But let me talk about this case. And I think it's important that Mr. Peter Obi has taken this step. I'm not the court. I cannot determine whether or not Mr. Adeyanju's statements was defamatory. He would have to prove himself or prove the accusations that he has made on his X account in court to beyond reasonable doubt. But we have had so many instances where, whether it be activists or surrogates or people who have been paid by a political party or a person, a political figure, come out to make spurious statements online defaming individuals or personalities. And usually people will just say, turn the other cheek, this is politics, you know how it is, anything happens, people can say what they like. But after a while, it is important to actually make an example of certain people when they make careless statements or put out careless thoughts like this out there. We might think it's an innocent, it's political jabs, but Mr. Deji Adeyanju is an influential figure. And there are many gullible people who would go online and read certain things and accept it as the word. It is important when you make statements like this to be able to back it up with proof and not just come out because you have a computer and you have access to the internet to make statements. It's not just Deji Adeyanju who does this. A number of people, faceless, just come out and make many kinds of statements. I believe that if indeed he's able to go to court and is unable to prove this statement, and he's made an example, perhaps he will teach a lesson to a lot of people who come out and just take on a figure and spew words, spew lies, talk about things, and expect that in the spirit of magnanimity, you would overlook it and just move on to the next. I hope to see the end of this case, and if found guilty, I hope Adeyanju faces the law. If he's not found guilty, then Mr. Peter Obi owes the people an explanation and an apology.
The truth about the thing with this Obi thing is, see, Ayo, with due respect, this one lawsuit will not change anything. You know what they always hide under? The fact that the procedure to prove a case of defamation is very long. And when you take somebody to court, the onions, pretty much will fall on you. So it's a very long-ended process. And they act on that to do it. But you see, I'm not surprised. You have a lot of government officials, people that have been paid with our taxpayers' money, also defaming people's spokesmen. Yeah. That's the society. But you see, the hypocrisy about all of this is the same government officials that are calling for the social media space to be sanitized. Yeah. They are the ones that are using it to defame people, which we have empirical proof.
Dr. Martin, there is a Cybercrime Act law that has just been passed recently.
In fact, that cybercrime rule, I know a government spokesman that has violated that. If I'm to activate the cybercrime rule today, the cybercrime law, but nothing will be done. So what I've come to listen to them is and see. So what I've come to say, if I can advise you, Mr. Peter Obi, with due respect, withdraw that case from court. Do not give anybody any chance to look very influential more than they are, because it's a waste of your time. Don't glorify them. Wait, Ayo. As of today, Deji is on channel. He went on channels to talk about that in this morning. So don't glorify these people. Just ignore. It's public space. They will say things against you. If you can't stand it, you don't get litigation. Mr. Peter Obi, withdraw that case. They will say things against you. You just let it go.
All right. That's your thought.
The principles must be properly stated. Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution guarantees the freedom of expression. But under our jurisprudence, it must be recognized that no right is absolute under the Constitution. The fact that you have the right to express yourself does not give you the right to defame people, because the other citizen has the right to the dignity of the human person under Section 33 of the same, Section 34 of the same Constitution. So he who alleges
must prove.
Must prove.
All right.
That's the basic principle. And Mr. Peter Obi going into politics does not mean that he has surrendered his right to the dignity of the human person. He has every right to go to court to challenge anybody who defames him. It's for that person to prove. The fact that you are a lawyer or that you are an activist does not grant you immunity.
This is it.
Section 308 of the 1999 Constitution is very specific about the persons who are entitled to immunity. And the Cybercrime Act that you refer to is controversial. They say police abuse it and all of that. But Section 14 of it is also clear. You cannot use electronic devices to defame people by hiding under anonymity. I think that we have to test our laws.
This is it.
With regard to defamation and to other laws, so that people do not think that they have absolute rights. Nobody has absolute rights.
All right.
The only defense that is available to you is justification, which is truth. The only defense also is absence of malice.
All right.
So we have to keep testing these laws.
I love that.
So that people don't just go on social media and talk about people, or they just carry microphone and they talk about people.
We just need an example.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
With the things they said about you, how many have you tested?
Well, no, that's why he's saying that.
Please, let me ask him a question.
We're not.
How many have you tested?
No.
And why have you not tested
We are not personalizing it.
Yes.
This is a basic principle of law.
Dr. Abati.
No.
Oh, that's your opinion.
It is up to the person that has been defamed to say. It's not there's no compulsion in the Nigerian Constitution or any of our statutes. It's for you to decide that, okay, I want to fight this matter, and you pursue it.
Well said.
To say somebody should not defend his right, no, we shouldn't go that way. So it's about principle.
Great. I like that point as well. We have to test the law. Let's head over to Osun State now for a story of divine encounter and life-changing opportunity on Thursday during the rousing welcome.
We are not personalizing it.
Yes.
This is a basic
rousing welcome of Osun workers. Governor